I can no longer, I am no longer an object of someone else's will, but a prisoner to my own body. My body does not feel like it belongs to me. For so long, it was not given a say and was maneuvered by another. Even my mind seems to be dictated by my own body sensations. A simple touch of my arm can trigger a memory. My hand hesitates to touch even the ones I love. This is part of a poem by Heather Cutler Young, and like Miss Young, so many men, women, and children are abused every day. Domestic abuse is the act of aggression or violence, usually between intimate partners within a home life. On average, noted by the National Coalition Against Domestic Abuse, 20 people per minute are abused within the U.S. This usually accumulates to about 10 million men and women in a year worldwide. Typical day, more than 20,000 calls are made to hotlines. And they also noted that the biggest majority of those abused are women ages 18 to 24. Domestic abuse needs to be stopped because not only is it a severe issue, but it also can hinder society's growth and it causes disruption and chaos within a peaceful home life that it would otherwise be. The National Crisis Hotline listed that there were 4 types of abuse: emotional, psychological, physical, and sexual. The most common is emotional and psychological. Emotional abuse is the characterization of someone subjecting their partner or another person to a behavior that can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and anxiety. Uh, the voiceforinnocent.org listed that there were about 10 different ways you can notice if someone was in a domestic abuse or if you yourself were in it. Usually the abuser tends to insult or belittle you. They can get physical. The abuser tends to isolate their victim from friends or family, and they get jealous of time spent with friends and family or even the victim's own aspirations. However, victims are not still the only ones struggling. Survivors struggle as well. You can have someone who has successfully left a relationship in domestic violence, but they still handle the issues, especially where emotional is involved, of pain and hurt. Uh, so even though domestic violence is such an issue, and there are many associations proactive about it, what can be done by you to help? Some ways that the National Crisis Hotline has said can be helped is to find an organization and help them find those who are domestically abused. If you know somebody who is, get them help because most times victims are too ashamed or fearful of their other to get help their own. Become proactive about it within your own community. Make your community knowledgeable about what domestic violence is and what can be done. Don't hide it if you are in a relationship. Get the help. Don't be ashamed. But domestic violence is still an issue at large. But what are some other ways it can be stopped or even prevented?